Laurentia, you are in Nungwa. Good evening. Nana Akwesi Avo of Vanguard Assurance. KO in Dansuman. Kwame Fiak from McCarthy Hill. Bros Barbecue, there you are. This year from Tinkong, Stephen Jampo, I see you. Kletos Seku in Kanda. Nanakwesi Apra from Dom. I'm listening with my wife Audrey. Good evening to both of you. Mbia Kwesi Afo, Switchback Road. Nanayawa Cressy is in Achimota. Says, I salute you, Nanansakwa. Dr. Mubarak Ahmed listening from Nottingham, UK. I'm Fum Frederick. Good evening to you. Ben Dansu, good evening to you. Kwame Adum, good evening to you. Tetewayo Samsing Osmose from Tema Community 1, Site 2, to be precise. Well, good evening to you, Wahiniri, at the gym, still in the car. Go and do a good 30 minutes. Shake off the stress. See you soon. Emmanuel Houston in Germany, good evening. Has it been a while? Perry Gibson in Japan. Opoku from Kofodia, Nanaya Amachi Opoku from Kofodia. Says, Nana, I'm here. My brother, I see you. Mike in Ho, good evening. Ajiman Joseph, how could I have missed that? Good evening, bro. I'm listening in traffic at the switchback road going home. That's in Biakwesiafo. Hinayure, love you very, very much. So go to the gym for me, okay? Love you loads. So go to the gym. Have a nice workout. I hope this worked. got a message. If you don't say you love me on air, I am not going to the gym. I've said it. Go to the gym. Before I start, let me quickly throw this thing in, right? Now, this morning, the news came up. In fact, let me go back and say, tomorrow will be Kwame Nkrumah's birthday. So, happy birthday in advance to the great son of the land. Great son of the land. Apparently, out of the 260 districts, they were able to select 36 women to represent their districts. And I thought it was woefully low. Now, this one observation, and I don't know where you live and see if you also have made this observation, right? Now, for those of you from Kombaria, right? If you come from Kombaria, all the road, the Saki Road, all the way to Michelle Camp Gate, right? You can then turn right, head towards Afienya. It's packed with shops and businesses from tabletop to containers to proper structures, but literally packed. And I can tell you, I deliberately, counted or observed. I don't know what percentage, but well over 90, maybe 95% of all those businesses were owned by a woman. And one that amazed me was, there's this woman who owns a spare parts shop. So if you go there and you want to buy spare parts, spark plugs, filters, whatever it is, she's there and she's stocked up. And if she hasn't got it, she'll tell you, come tomorrow, I'll go to Abusio Kanye, I'll get it for you. So I was just wondering how on that level, women, recently, right by near, my junction, I'm not going to say the junction, but there's this woman who set up a, really like a designer shop or sewing shop. And sometimes they do 24 hours. They are there, at night when you get home, at dawn when you're waking up for a walk, they're still in there stitching, mending, and sewing away. So I was just trying to figure out how it is that women can run car wash bays, beer bars, grocery shops, spare part shops, all these things year in, year out, rain or shine. But then when it gets to the top, suddenly, we can't seem to find their representation. And apparently, statistically, I think Ghana is leading with, when they talk about women entrepreneurs or women holding small scale businesses, I think the whole world we're leading. So how is it possible that we can lead in the whole world with women holding such a base of the economy and proving themselves? And yet, when it gets to the top, we can only find 36. Folks, we start the way we start. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And I'll say that again. "38 women have been corrected." HIA2. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansakwa, the fourth chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa, and thank God it's Monday. So here we are to perform one of radio's most important rituals. And as usual, the wise ones have assembled, lovers of nation, true sons of the land, patriots have all gathered to make truth good, and this can only happen on Joy 99.7 FM. And I welcome you to the ritual I call That's My Opinion. And our topic today is, does multi-party system mean more democracy? Does multi-party system bring more democracy? On September 5th, 2021, there was a coup and an overthrow of the president, Alpha Conde, as a president of Guinea. This was triggered by many issues, very common in the West African countries, but the other straw was the fact that the president wanted to change the constitution so he could run for president again. So as we speak, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya is the leader of Guinea now. Folks, quickly, ECOWAS called an emergency summit to condemn the action and to give an ultimatum for Guinea to return to civilian rule. 6 months to be precise. Political parties are to regroup and elections are to be held free and fair, and let peace reign and live happily forever after, as they say. So folks, this got me thinking. That this world order of democracy or nothing else, is it only achieved through having many political parties within a system? Is that the only way in which democracy is achieved? But please forgive me if I am not quoting this person said that in Korean, and the Greek said this. No, I have lived it, folks, and I'm pouring out sentiment from our experience. Because if you live in Ghana, you are a political animal, whether you like it or not. It is forced and shoved down your throat. So we're living our experiences. Folks, democracy in simple terms, power given to you by the people, a government by the people. Now, since all the people cannot literally be appointed, a selected few are appointed or voted for to represent the majority. So the majoritarian system and the representational system then comes into play. So the majority will select one or two to represent them at the government level where laws and policies and decisions are made. Again, should it only happen when everybody can form their political party and throw in their hat into the race? Folks, the idea of multi-party system are parties who have very different approaches and ideology, very different, as to how it is they want to shape their country. And also to serve as overseer of what the government of the day will be doing. They serve as a watchman, if I should put it. Yet, folks, we have parties here where one can really tell the differences in ideology. And they all practice one ideology, which is borrow to build social intervention ideology. They all seem to have the same ideology. It is borrow to build social intervention ideology. Yet they are all in there promising us heaven. However, folks, this type of system, this type of multi-party system, can every 4 years queue up and vote business, needs a lot of understanding and a high level of maturity, and I dare even say a greater economic power amongst the citizenry who are involved in it. Folks, the protagonists of this system, when they started, they were very, very crude. When they started, they were very crude. And they held on to the leash very tight for years and years until they felt everyone was now on board. Before even voting was open to all. Forget about you even going to say you're going to contest. Forget it. Just even voting. Not even going to say you're presenting yourself as a representative. No. Even voting. The leash was held tight. Folks, but somehow we seem to think that we can start from where they have gotten to without the needed education, maturity, and wealth. We just think we can start from where they have gotten to. We look at them now and see where they are and think, okay, good. Yes, yes, starting free her. Forgetting about the depth with which they dug out from. We have forgotten about the depth with which they dug out from. But back to the ECOWAS and the Guinea story. Now, I don't know what the plan the Colonel has or how he intends to change the story of Guinea. But I am asking, where is the Dubai story in West Africa? Where is the Singapore story in West Africa? Where is the Netherlands story in West Africa? Where are our victory stories? That we can look on to Guinea and say, look at this and follow our footsteps. Folks, across West Africa, most of the marginal gains we have made have been swallowed up by our uncontrolled population. Yes, most of the marginal gains we've made have all been swallowed up by our uncontrolled population growth. So yes, in truth, most countries are worse off now than they were before, even though they have more amenities and facilities and even probably wealth now than they did before. But yes, on the ground, we have more hospitals, but you can't find a bed. Far more schools than we've ever had before, but you struggle to get a place. Lots and lots of businesses today, but we are unemployed. We are just outgrown everything and gone back to zero. Now, this idea that underdeveloped nations can divide themselves into parties against each other and hope to develop faster still beats me. This idea that underdeveloped nations can divide themselves among political parties against each other and hope that within that division and within that against, they can develop faster. Where sometimes current governments will sometimes leave projects in the bush because they did not start it. Oh yes. Governments will leave projects, viable projects in the bush because they did not start it. Even though the state will still have to pay, and because they are covering government, they will superintend in the payment of those projects in the bush, but they will not complete it for you and I to use. So folks, is it the beauty of voting every 4 years? We jostle, we fight, sometimes kill after we declare it free and fair, and the status quo remains. Those in power become rich overnight in our faces. In our faces. And guess what? The very people we have elected to go represent us turn around to represent their party. The very essence of this whole democracy that's taking us to our graves was that people will go out there and represent us. It must be the biggest irony of all times. Government for the party and not the people. Government for the party and not the people. And yet, we will not let you sleep if you don't join this bandwagon. But folks, I guess in most cases, they may have already paid for the privilege. That's why I said you need a high level of understanding and some economic freedom. Nipa no koto abano should not be induced by rice and oil and stipends. You need some economic freedom to dabble in this game. Otherwise, the voters will be told stories, made unrealistic promises, and even given patents to go and vote based on that account. I have seen people being carted along in long vehicle tracks like cattle. Oh yes, long vehicle tracks, open like cattle. to go and vote. And I'm telling you, those who brought about this system, when they started, they wouldn't have allowed you to vote. You know why? Because you're too poor. Those who brought this system and this news that we have tied around our necks, they would not have allowed you to vote because you are way too poor to understand the game. It is harsh, it is the reality, and it is the truth. And that's how crude they were. But folks, is this what ECOWAS is asking Guinea to be excited to go back to? Or is it just a default system of government where, whether it works or not, we have chosen it, so that's it. This is a default one. No government is better, so, well, we might as well choose the lesser evil, and maybe this is the lesser evil? Folks, is it not time for us to sit as West Africans and redefine what really best suits us? What should our democracy, what should it look like? How best can we represent our people at the barest minimal cost? Because, folks, at $2,300 per capita, I can imagine the strain elections will put on the Guinean budget with 11 political parties. I mean, I think Guinea has gotten a chance to redefine what governance of the people should truly mean. And they shouldn't waste it. And I think even without any coup or whatever it is, ECOWAS should go and sit down again and look themselves in the face and be honest and say, poverty is killing us. Ignorance is swallowing us. We are being overtaken by all events. And so, what should our democracy look like? How it is that we can govern at the barest minimal cost and make sure that everyone is truly and properly represented. That laws would work without recognition. That people's human rights will be valued. That children will and must at all costs be protected. How can you have a democracy and you're driving and there are children, kneeling down on the road? If you won't let me clean your windscreen, then please give me money, please give me money. And it's not like just one or two, it's like becoming a culture. But what sort of, just because next 4 years we'll go and vote? I think we need to sit down and have a bigger conversation. Say, this thing is not working. Countries have changed in 20 years, in 30 years, have completely changed themselves. And I'm not sure they changed because they divided themselves. Everybody who thinks they are made, oh yes, and me party, me say, sir, and just jumping against each other. And even if the thing is true, because you didn't do it, you say it's not true. No focus. I think West Africa should be true to itself. Sit down at the ECOWAS meeting, dubbed Enough is Enough. An emergency summit called Enough is Enough. We have tried and failed, retried, refailed, and still failing. How is it that we go forward? What should we do? And so I am asking, folks, I'm sure the experts are out there, that this multi-party system, where whatever you do, I hate, whatever you do, I don't like. If you start, I won't continue. If you chop and go, I also come and chop. I mean, is this the best we can do for us? So I'm asking, folks, does multi-party political system bring about more democracy? You talk to me. So good, Nana, good show. You see how our leaders are. Where were the ECOWAS leaders when Conde was trying to change the constitution to suit himself? Now that he has been overthrown, they quickly group and condemn the military for their actions. African leaders are so selfish and wicked, greedy. Perry Gibson in Japan. Perry, good evening. Let me go to the phones and see who's talking to me.
Nana.
Yes, sir.
I greet you well, sir.
I greet you back.
Your own son, Derek.
Derek, let me hear you.
Nana, I don't know. It's like I'm over hampering on this issue. The issue is very simple. The democracy that we know or we are adapting doesn't fit us. All we need to do is just bring on board the transitional authorities. Because as it stands now, where are we driving at? Do we have a focus? No. Do we have a national development plan? No. We are talking about what? Manifesto politics. And until that should end, it had to start with the transitional authorities. Africa had to come out with a concept, with a clear policy of where we are going. But as it stands now, to be honest with you, it's like we've been going round, and it should stop for once. Because we can't try.
Derek, oh, sorry, Derek, your line dropped there. Derek, try and call back. You always call back anyway, so I know I'll hear from you again. Stone from Koforia said, good evening, sir. Nana. Wow, double. I take both. I strongly agree with you 100%. Democracy in Africa must be reconfigured to suit the structure of our political climate. The Edija is becoming unbecoming, and they are hiding behind democracy to flatter us and get away with all their misdeeds. Our democracy is premature and preterm, baby. So let's go back to the days of the chieftaincy system and practice that to the latter and see what happens. Greetings to the little princess of Edumasa. Good evening, Stone. Hello. 03022. Hello. Who's
Hello.
talking? Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my brother, I'm back.
Okay, let me hear you.
Derek, I'm back again.
Yes, of course, Derek. Finish. Of course, Derek. Let me hear you.
Oh, so like I'm saying, there should be an African democracy or governance system, because we have a different sort of orientation of this westernized.
Derek, your line is so bad this evening. I don't know why. Good evening, Nana. It's a shame our president to even agree to the Ivorian president who also did the same thing Alpha Conde did, that they were going to ask for his release. The coup makers there should have captured Ouattara as well. Good evening. Hello, and who's talking to me?
Hello, good evening, Nana. This is Shem from South.
Shem?
Yes.
Shem, let me hear you. Been a while.
And Nana, you see, democracy can work for Africa, and it should work for Africa. Ghana, as an example, has two political parties which are taking the system for granted for too long a time. Yet, we, the same people, queue up and vote for them every time. NPP, NDC, MPP, NDC. And I think before we look at our whole democracy issue, we should change them. We should punish them by voting them out. They should spend money on elections, but we, the people, know that we are not going to vote for either A or B because they are the same. How can you choose the rest of it? These two people are thief. How can you say I'm choosing this one because this one's too one city less or one city more? Nana, the average Ghanaian now is doing a very good job. We go around and we talk about how these parties are not good. So I believe we should still keep at it. Very soon we will get to our parents, our forefathers, and everybody will know. You can't give me 20 cities and expect me to sign off my next 4 years to you when you're going to increase forward, you're going to do everything that's very bizarre, and you don't even have control of the system. So it is these two people that are causing this whole palindrome of issues, making it seem as if democracy is not good for Africa. Banana, democracy was good for us, and it's good for us. At least we have something to say. Yeah, somebody will say, let's go back to the chieftaincy and all. But now chieftaincy, they are even buying it. They buy it, they sell it. I know places where you go and you have money and they push such people there. So you see, it's eating us up. So we should push away MPP and NDC just for one. Even if is an animal, I believe that person will do a better job. These are the prolific parties that we have in Ghana. But yet when they come, they behave, I don't know the word to even choose and use for them. It's very cynical, Nana. So me, that has been my prayer since 2024. Let's push away NPP and NDC Ghanaians. Let us push them to the front. Let them go and sit down, put their hands on their head and say, hey, after spending all this money, these people didn't vote for us. Yes, that is the time we can demand of them.
Thank you very much. Hashem from Bros Barbecue. Hello, who's talking to me?
Good evening, Nana. This is Ajima September.
Ajima, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, I sat with some of the callers that when the president was doing something wrong, trying to change the constitution, where was ECOWAS? Mm-hmm. I think the Guinea issue started from somewhere. ECOWAS used to have emergency meetings. So once the president was doing wrong thing, doing something that we realized that it will bring an issue, it will have stopped him. For these soldiers to take over, if the idea is that we want the president to do the right thing, we are not coming to hold on to be a military rule, but we are just taking the power so that the right thing must be done. I think the soldiers are not doing wrong thing. And also, I want our electoral commissions in both, in all the African countries to measure the strength of whoever being a political party that I want to contest. Is it by contesting, making us a democratic country, or we are just trying to come in that we also want to be president? Is that the issue? Or do you have what it takes to contest to be a political party? If the idea is we also want to be there some, then there's no need tolerating a whole lot of political parties, 8, 9, 10, 11, what have you. So my point is we should calculate and weigh the strength of every political party. If they don't deserve to be there, we shouldn't tolerate them. Because Ghana seems to be NDC and PPP, but when we are getting to election time, then they multiply. Where are they when there's no election? And I'm going to be with you.
Go be with you too. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello.
Hi.
Nana, good evening.
Good evening. Who am I talking to?
My name is Senior Citizen.
Senior Citizen. That's a good one.
Nana, first thing we should ask ourselves is, are we indeed practicing democracy? Are we? We should understand what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Because, you see, a democratic system is a system that seeks to deal with wide disparity among the people of a nation. Mm-hmm. You can't have a system in which a group of people or an individual have all the powers. They control the police, they control the justice system, they control parliament, they control central and then local governance. And then we say that is a democratic system. No. We are not practicing democracy as Africans. We are not. Listen, in the United States, the president is just a figurehead. Every territory in the United States governs itself. Every territory. Right from the county, from the village, governs itself. Okay? Even the school themselves govern. Every territory, every district have their own school board, and the school board governs the school. Here we have a party, we call them parties, we let them, and then we gave them a framework that says they are the same people who self-regulate themselves, control the police, control the justice system, control parliament, control central and local governance. And then we tout ourselves that we are practicing democracy. This is the problem. So when the ECOWAS people go and sit down and then say they should return back to constitutional governance, it's the same constitutional governance that allow people to corrupt this very system. Okay, so we should know exactly what we are practicing. We should know exactly what we are. We are not practicing democracy in this country. I mean, we were told that democracy is a plebiscite way of electing our public official and freedom of speech. No, these are not. Freedom and speech and the plebiscite way of electing our public officials are not democracy. No, that is not it. Under a democratic dispensation, one don't rule. Any governance that allows somebody to rule is not a democratic system. And when before somebody will rule, then the person has to be clothed with all powers.
Well,
okay, so this is a problem we have.
Good evening, senior citizen. That was insightful. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for bringing up this topic.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, when Alpha Conde was fooling, did the ECO SP or not? And now they come here to hold meetings and block our streets, go into best hotels to make themselves fine. But when the man was there fooling, they didn't see that. They didn't know they had to call him to book. But when this thing happened, they tried to come here to disorganize us by creating a whole lot of traffic for us. Even when we want to go and pick our children from school, there was no way to get into the school. Is that right? Do these African leaders, do they think right? If they think right, then they should do the right thing before the wrong happens. Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening and thank you for calling. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, this is Israel.
Israel, let me hear you.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Nana, do you know my problem?
No.
These our continent leaders, Africa leaders, they are very disgraceful to the continent. Very, very disgraceful. I am very ashamed of their conduct. A lot of people have been talking about the time junior presidents were changing the constitution. Where were they? Where were they? Later on, they just come and disturb us in this country. Before then, please, who is the chairman of the ECOWAS? Nana?
Yeah.
Who is the chairman of the ECOWAS?
Well, you tell me.
Come again.
I say, you tell me.
I don't know. Shame onto the one who supposed to be the chairman of the ECOWAS. Shame onto him or her. It's a very disgraceful. What a selfish leaders we have on this continent.
I share your passion. 0302216541. Hello, and who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
I'm back again. It's me, Derek. Yes, right.
Let me hear you.
My point is, I'm not trying to defend Alpha Conde or any other coup plotter. But the issue is, are we now suggesting for a brief moment that before the whites came here, are we not taking care of ourselves? Is that a question? And then after they brought this imported governance system, are we now suggesting that we have no sense of what? Reasoning? Let's go back to our roots. And then there's a formula. Should we not go to that? I think we are jokers. And it is there.
Thank you very much. Osei Kufuor is in Tema. Says, good evening, Nana. Like it or not, we are where we are with this democracy. Far as I'm concerned, it's not the system, it's us, the people. We vote, we defend rot, we refuse to support good people. We will leave you to hang if you stick your neck out. We all know what is right, but we choose to do the wrong thing. Why? Because there's no critical mass to insist on the right thing. It will take a very long time for things to change. Let's keep talking till enough people wake up. Osei Kufuor, good evening. But I think my question I am asking about this democracy thing, is that will creating more political parties in a country bring about more democracy? Hello, who's talking to me? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, who am I talking to?
My name is Kwame.
Kwame?
Yes.
Kwame, let me hear you.
Yes. As we were ushered into this multi-party system with little or no orientation. We entered it as if we knew what it is. Some of us who have been around for a long time had an idea, but there has been no attempt to educate us to know what really it is. Number two, sometimes we complain about the people we have voted. The people in power who we voted for came from us. They are a reflection of our nature, the type of people we are. So what we actually should have done is to come up with institutions that work. And the institutions like, let's say, the police or the electoral commission, the president should not be the one to appoint the head of such institutions. Otherwise, we are just wasting our time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 0302216541. Hello, who am I talking to?
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
My name is Miss Lane.
Miss
Lane.
Miss Lane, let me hear you.
Okay, Nana. My issue is I was wondering, couldn't they have made this meeting over Zoom? In fact, because of this COVID issue, I mean, like.
That's a suggestion. that's a thought.
Because going through all these headaches and taking our money for the bills, the food, the things that they'll be enjoying, the air conditioning, and all the cost. That amount of money can be given to even look at the street. What is going on now? Every time they're just increasing on the road. And don't you think the social welfare will need that money to even cater for these street children?
Okay, so that's why I'm saying that. Is it about time we redefine what our democracy should look like and at the barest minimal cost? I mean, I don't know if you or just leave it where every party comes and say, well, I'm a party, go and print a ballot box for me. So
it's a broad something, it makes the education all come to nothing. Like, it's worthless to be educated, because you go to school, you got the degrees and everything, and you still can't change your country. So, I don't know. Who should rule now? Who should rule? Who must rule us as human beings right now?
Well, we have to
when things are going wrong, like everybody is asleep. But we are all watching and waiting. Like, I don't know what you are waiting for. Please, you are the movers. You got to do something.
Good evening, Miss Lane. Thank you so much for calling 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Good evening, Anna.
Good evening.
This is Nick from Kaswa.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Sometimes I just wonder the kind of leaders we have in Africa. Just look at their ages. Look at Alpha Conde, his age, the current ECOWAS president's age, and then look at even within our region. They saw whatever went on, but they never gave it any thought to help the people of Guinea. And now you've come to meet here, take us through stress at a city and a country. Then you are telling him he should adhere to whatever conditions you are putting across. Is that possible? Meanwhile, the masses they are suffering. And these leaders in Africa, they were aware of whatever the man was doing. He coming to change a constitution to favor him. And they even went to celebrate in his inauguration. Today you are here saying that those who organize the coup, I'm not saying coup is a good thing, but if it will support the masses, I'm all for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. This one says, in fact, African leaders need a lot of wisdom, and their so-called academic knowledge for which they copy from the very people who brought this thing called democracy to us. This is the reason why I never like the topic democracy back in secondary school. Bravo to the coup maker in Guinea, Pizarro of North Carnation. Pizarro is in the camp of Mamandi already. Hello, who's talking to me?
This is Francis from Drapo.
Francis, let me hear you.
With political parties and our democracy, in our system, what is happening to me that more parties with more ideas and the implementation near. So long as we don't have a national policy, no amount of parties can implement any democracy properly. We should have national policy, and we take people's ideas to implement those policies. And if you don't implement the policies properly, we throw you out. But people come in with ideas, and then we follow them. Counter ideas, we follow them. We will end up anyway. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. This is from senior brother. Edgar Redu says there's nothing wrong with multi-party democracy. The problem is this style of system. Is the style of system. The problem with this style of system is the player. Democracy will move well if our judiciary and police live up to their oath. Big question. Thanks so much, Nana. I just want to find out whether General Kutu Achampong was wrong proposing union government to embrace all corners of the country, which we in Ghana kicked against in favor of winner-takes-all system we call democracy, while endorsing the adulterated forms of democracy in nearby countries. Hello, who's talking to me?
My name is George.
George, let me hear you.
Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
To me, it's hypocrisy that is killing us. Yesterday, petrol was 16 cedis, and we all rise up. Akomidio. Today, petrol is almost a liter for almost 7 cedis, and we are all quiet. I mean, we should blame ourselves because we love it. If we don't love it, by now, we should do the same thing we did when the petrol was 16 cedis. So, to me, it's hypocrisy to the highest level, and Christianity is what is killing us the more.
Thank you very much for calling. General Achampong, The Life and Times of Ghana's Head of State by Bafo Agyemanduya, Professor Bafo Agyemanduya. He's written a book on General Achampong. The title is General Achampong, The Life and Times of the Head of State. And the book launch is on 23rd of September. Venue is Ghana Academy of Arts and Science, 4 p.m. Now, as a staunch Achamponist, I'm definitely going to be there. So venue is Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, number 1 Research Crescent, Casley Hayford Road, Airport Residential Area near Water Research Institute, 4 p.m. I really, really would want to read it's in General Achampong's book. And Stephen Agler's message made me just remember that. But folks, I hope this is not the first time you're tuning in. Set your reminders every Monday right after news night. We come here, we bring a topic, and we jaw. Trying to make ourselves better people. Because we can never, ever lose hope. I am Nana Ansakwa the Fourth. And I say until the lions have their own historians, tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Maswell Agbagba is ready. Kofi Hayford is ready. Abeku Sankofi was on the ones and twos. It is absolutely buzzing in here. It is absolutely buzzing in here, so do not touch that dial.